Hello everyone and welcome to the Riftmaker Podcast, the newest podcast on the ChaosVoid. My name is Squiddy and I am joined by Sheldine. I think let's begin with a little background on us. I am very new to League of Legends. I have been playing really since last year, I think, because Sheldine, you kind of like introduced it to me saying, hey, I think this is a game you'd really like to play. And I started playing it.
Something like that.
All I will say is I am an Ari and Galio 2 trick. I can't really play anything else, and I can't really play them well. If you've watched any of the pugs, I can't get the hang of LeBlanc. I have no idea how she's meant to be played. Like, I see the pros deal like outrageous damage on her, and I'm just there like, I don't understand how I just feel a bit weak.
Just press buttons randomly. You might do something.
Yeah, that's what I do, and I don't know why it doesn't work. But yeah, so I'm probably the newbiest of us. Sheldine, tell us a bit about your League of Legends story before we get into the podcast.
I can't even remember why I got into it. It was about 3 years ago, more or less, at this point. I can remember specifically who I learned first, and it was Nasus. And if anyone knows who Nasus is...
Why Nasus?
I don't know why. Literally, my friend was like, you might like this champion.
Big dog
and
boy.
I'm like, okay. I tried him, and I went, I don't like him. So I ended up playing Blitzcrank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ended up playing Blitzcrank. And then I discovered my my main, who's Pike. But as Squiddy knows, and from the past and whatever, I just play whatever the hell I want at this point.
And that's the way you want to do it.
Just because it's a bit more fun, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're not really experienced.
I've tried to teach Squiddies a few bits, and
you have.
Kind of awkward. Well, it's awkward when I don't actually know the champ myself. So it's kind of like, oh, Squiddy, this is how you play this champion. And I'm like,
yeah. I mean, you have taught me a few things. Does it work? Do I retain the knowledge? No, it goes straight in my head, which is why I can't play like Twisted Fate or who's LeBlanc. But that's fine. We don't need
Silas.
to be Silas. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen all those heroes at World so far, so we'll talk about that in a bit. But I think first, let's talk about the new Riot Client that they brought out. They teased it, what was it, a month or so, like a couple months ago, that they were going to streamline all of their products into one client rather than having individual ones for each game. And if you've downloaded it, it looks very clean, I would say.
It does look very clean. Obviously, you don't have to have each individual icon, but I mean, I still do. And the only thing that they've not added to the client is the fact you can't access the PvE server for like League or anything from the client. And
that's like that's kind of
that's the test server.
That's it. I was like, there's Overwatch has one that's similar.
Yeah, isn't that just called? Yeah, that's the test server, isn't it?
Yeah, PTR.
PTR. Yeah, because it's PvE for
public build environment
or something like that. Yeah, but no, the new client is it's really clean looking.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not much we can say. I was like, oh, this is going to be a great point. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's only like a minute because, like, all we say is, like, it looks clean.
It looks clean. It shows off Arcane, which comes out next month.
Oh, yeah, that's not too far away. We'll probably be talking about that when we can. But let's move on to the big thing. Everyone is kind of the biggest thing in League of Legends at the moment, and that is Worlds 2021. And that's also our question of the day. Who will reach knockouts? Let us know in the chat who you think will be reaching knockouts. Sheldine, how much of Worlds 2021 have you been able to watch so far? Look at that smile.
It's really a question we should be asking.
Yes, it is.
I have watched way too much of it.
Have you enjoyed it? That's the important thing.
Oh, I've enjoyed it. And teams have surprised me.
Yeah.
In good ways and bad ways. Not naming names. Cloud9.
We'll get to that in a moment. Or in a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's kind of what you expect. You're kind of expecting like the bigger regions to kind of like perform better than the smaller ones. But as I said, there's been some pleasant surprises already. So
Yeah. I would say on the day one. So let's look at the days as they've gone ahead. Not going into too much detail. Day one, I think went all the way. I think best team there might have been Galatasaray. They went 2-0 on day one, and no one expected that.
Yeah, Galatasaray, no one expected. From what I remember, like this supposed Scrimbucks leak from PSG, but Galatasaray is kind of like fourth best, kind of tied with like Cloud9 and Destination Focus Me.
Mm.
And Galatasaray then decided that, hang on a second, we're going to beat, I think it was Beyond and Unicorns of Love.
It must have been, yeah.
Yeah, they beat Beyond, which was a surprise because
I was watching it and they were calling it an upset, the commentators, during it.
Yeah, because Beyond are, I would like to say, on a similar level to PSG talent, who actually made Worlds. So it was a big upset because no one was expecting it.
Unicorns of Love, I'd say they haven't done too well. I mean, they got a good scalp. They got a good scalp today, which we'll talk about in due course. I mean, Cialdini's already rumored towards it. But yeah, Group B, I think that was the most chaotic group of these play-ins. Like, Group A, and got LNG at the top, Hanwha Life second, Peace and Red. Like, that seems like it followed its orders. Group B just tore up the script completely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about it. I don't want to dart around it anymore. So Cloud9 today played against Unicorns of Love, and if they won, they would have been top, right?
If they had won, they would have been top.
They would have been top, and that meant they would have qualified immediately into the group rounds of Worlds. But Cialdini, what happened? Because I didn't watch the game, I was working.
Cloud9 have decided that they were going to... I wouldn't say that they didn't play well, it was just they got out-drafted. Like, they just didn't have the best of draft going into it.
Interesting. What were the lineups?
Give me 1 second. I know that we saw... It was the first time we saw Senna this...
Really? First time? I would have thought...
Yeah, they went, Unicorns of Love, Camille top, Lee Sin jungle, Silas mid, Senna Scion bot.
Okay.
And then you had Gangplank top, Zinzao mid, LeBlanc, Zinzao jungle, LeBlanc mid, MF and Rail bot lane.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of MF already in Worlds.
Yeah, MF is kind of like the must pick in Worlds at the moment, just because I think it's just because of her versatility and just her damage at the moment is just absurd. And her first item breakpoint, because she doesn't build a mythic first, she goes straight into. I now can't think of the item. Yomu's Ghostblade. So she reaches the kind of like first item breakpoint quicker than anyone else at the moment, which just makes her just substantially more viable.
Yeah. I wonder in that game between Unicorns of Love and Cloud9 whether they picked that Silas because hasn't Perks mainly played that Silas? Like all this Cloud9 games I've seen, I'm fairly sure he's always been on the Silas.
Or, what was it? When I was watching the draft and stuff, it was one of the first times that LeBlanc was actually not banned towards Perks. So they picked up the LeBlanc, and Unicorns of Love actually picked up Silas later on.
Oh, really? So
yeah, they because they flexed the. I think it was. Can't remember who they flexed. They showed Senna Scion. So it was kind of like saying, oh, it could be a Scion top, it could be Scion support. But no, naturally, like Unicorns of Love had the better scaling comp. Like Senna scales ridiculous late game. Son just gets tanky. Camille, her Q just does outrageous damage. So as the game gets further on, their team just naturally scales harder than Cloud9. And
That's what I always say.
Got out.
Games.
Yeah, we scale.
Yeah.
We never scale.
Okay.
Yeah, LeBlanc, not LeBlanc. Their team just scaled, and that was probably, as I said, they quite outdrafted, really. Which then led to two break-offs, decider games of who gets knocked out of Group B between Unicorns of Love and Beyond, and who went through as first place, either DFM or Cloud9. And DFM are the first LGL. Wait, is it LGL? LPJ? LJL, first Japanese team to qualify for Worlds.
That's amazing. And to be honest, they look scary good. I'll be honest. Like the games I've seen.
Incredibly strong. A lot of the players, from what I've read about LGL, they don't actually play on the Japanese server. They do tend to play on like the Korean server and stuff. So they normally do play against some of the higher players in Korea. So
they have talent, and they've got that. There'll be that ping as well between Korea and Japan as well. So actually, in LAN, they could show up a little bit.
They could show up a bit. I reckon there'll be a surprise package to whatever group they get added into.
Yeah. And so yeah, with that decider match between DFM and Cloud9, it pushed Cloud9 to that second place. So they'll be playing against either Galatasaray or Beyond for one of those. Oh no, it's not the other one.
It's either Red or Peace.
That's it.
So I'm hoping Peace goes through and Peace beat Cloud9.
Do you think it's possible for Cloud9 to not actually get through?
Realistically, they should get through. I'm on the hope that Peace haven't actually looked too bad when they've played against Red or I can't remember the other team in their group. Infinity. They've actually not looked terrible. And if Cloud9 play the way that they play today, Peace could definitely make a shout of making it to Worlds themselves.
To Worlds, wow. What about, let's look at Group A. We got Honwa, Life Esports, second place there. They're going to be against Galatasaray or Beyond.
See, Honwa, Beyond and Galatasaray is going to be interesting. I reckon for Galatasaray, if they play like they did in the first game against Beyond, and everyone seems to be putting on the Beyond support player at the moment, Galatasaray probably going to win that game. And Home Live hasn't been exactly the strongest, or not as strong as people were hoping them to be. So it could be close between Home Life and Galatasaray, I reckon. Because obviously Home Life have, with how much you follow League, have Chovy.
I've seen Chovy just popping off.
Yeah. Chovy and Deft. Deft is one of my favourite ADC players. But it's either Chovy and Deft carry or Home Life just don't perform. So
really it's in the balance. So there's no clear winner, you could say, for all these games going forward.
No, I was going to say Worlds is always one of these. It's like any kind of sporting event or whatever. When it comes to the world's biggest stage, you're going to expect some kind of upset somewhere along the lines.
You got Haruni in chat shouting at you, Sheldini, for forgetting Morgan.
Morgan. Oh, what, Morgan for HLE?
Also, welcome to the chat. I hope you're having a good evening. Thank you for stopping on by.
I mean, Morgan is very... Personally, I think Morgan is very much... He kind of he needs that support early on. Otherwise, I feel like he kind of not get steamrolled, but I'm not confident on his ability as a top laner against. I mean, I say that I'm looking at Beyond and Galatasaray. He should win.
I mean, I think I remember seeing the highlights and seeing the Aatrox, and it was a bit clean. It was quite clean. You could
yeah, it was.
Daz want to hire Morgan from that performance. Is Daz still a thing? You know, get the whitening powder thing. I'm fairly sure Daz should still be a thing. I hope so. I remember those adverts well. Anyway, back to League of Legends. Haruni, who do you think will make it? Who will reach knockouts? Be interesting, because I think you're right. I don't think Cloud9 would. I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say it right. I don't think Cloud9 would make it.
I think it depends on what version of Cloud9 we see.
Yes.
But I personally would like to see Peace make it through.
Mm-hmm.
But I reckon it's probably is going to be Cloud9 and One Life. Because I want to hopefully see Cloud9 in Group A, and then watch them get absolutely mullered.
Let's have a look. Group A. Oh my god, I've just seen it. Kia, Rogue, and FPX.
Yeah, it makes me sad being a Rogue fan, but we're in with Kia and Fun Plus Phoenix. That's not a good group.
No, that no one wants to be in that group. That, as they would say it, like the Euros or World Cup or whatever, the group of death.
True, they do have that weird neck about them. Then obviously you have T1, Edward Gaming, 100 Thief. I can't remember who's likely to end up in that group, but I would like to say that EG and T1 probably make it out.
How do you rate NA's chances at League? Because that's always the meme.
Honestly, I think their best bet of getting out of a group stage is going to be Team Liquid in Group D.
What, with Gen.G and Mad Lions?
Yeah, I think that's their best bet.
I mean, to be fair, I was able to watch more NA this year than EU because of the times. I was able to go to bed and watch some NA League more than I was able to watch EU League. 100 Thieves really, they're so dependent on the day. I mean, all teams are, but like they're I think 100 Thieves more so than others. Like if they,
I think 100 Thieves are. I wouldn't say are the strongest team. I still personally think. I feel like Team Liquid's the strongest from NA. But
they're still stronger than Cloud9.
Well,
from regular season. But
I still think they're stronger. But no, I don't rate NA's chances. Like, as much as they are like the fourth main, or they're the fourth best region. But I wouldn't.
What about EU? It's in Europe. The championships. How do you rate Europe's chances?
See, Europe, I think, like, if you have to set a goal for like each region, you're looking at NA is probably making quarters. That's
what I was thinking.
I mean, I think realistically, if I was to meme on it and say is not to go 0-6, but
that's last year's.
Realistically, EU, whether or not they happen, is probably looking at the semi-finals. But if you're looking at Korea and China, they're looking to win.
Right, let's have a look. Haruni's put Group A, FPX and C9. Group B, EDG and 100 Thieves. Group C, not sure. And Group D, LNG and Mad Lions. I mean, Group C, I mean, I'm a Fnatic fan purely because of the colour orange. It's how I choose teams when I don't know the sport. And Whippo Jungle.
Yeah,
he's the widest jungler there. I mean,
could contemplate his jungle if he's covering jungle.
Yeah.
I would probably say FPX, Damwon, Kia out of Group A. Group B, I would probably say T1 and EGG. Or EDG? Yeah, EG.
Mm.
Group C, RNG Fnatic. And Group D, I would say Mad and LNG.
Mm. I think if Rogue makes it out their group, it is an absolute miracle.
Oh, 100%. Like arguably, probably the two best teams in the tournament are both in Group A.
Yeah. But if they get through their group, they could then use that momentum to push all the way through, potentially to a final. But that's only if they get out. I think anyone who gets out Group A, their chances go up.
Yeah, anyone that gets out of Group A, but you also need to have hope for a major miracle against Damwon and FPX.
Yeah.
And FPX look mad, and the fact that Doyenby, he doesn't play conventional mid laners.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you saw some of his picks from when they won Worlds. When did FPX? It's not last year, the year before. 2019.
Oh, when they
when they won
last time.
Some of the pick, like I think we saw like Doyenby play Nautilus mid.
Yeah, Malphite and Nautilus. Hooney is just put in the chat.
Yeah, he doesn't play normal characters. Like you can't ever prepare yourself to play against Doyenby because you don't know what he's going to pull out. Like game 1, G2, he pulls out in the final against G2. Pulls out Nautilus mid. Like the first game.
I'm never doing that. I'm just saying, when we're playing, I'm never putting out the Nautilus. I have no idea how that would even work.
But he's known, as people like to point out with Doyenby, in some terms and stuff, he plays mid wrong in the best way to describe it. Like Invictus Gaming, he pulled out the Nautilus mid 3 out of the 4 games.
What? I mean, guy's just gonna meme on us at Worlds this year. Because I was gonna bring that up actually. Even already so far, I mean, you counted what? Have you kept counting how many unique characters, or did you stop?
I did keep count. I have stopped at the moment.
Because it was in the 50s or 60s, wasn't it?
Last time I counted, it was 60-something odd champions, which isn't bad for Worlds is at the moment.
But still, that's a big variety in terms of compositions and how teams are having to adapt. So that arguably is just as important for this Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, Misfortune is kind of Misfortune, Leona, Zinzal, Ezreal, kind of been a staple.
Mm.
I think MF, there's been 22 games so far. She's been picked in 18 and banned in 3.
Wow.
Leona's been picked in 13 and banned in 5, and is currently holding a 92% win rate.
Jesus Christ. My boy Galio, I think he's only been picked once. And it was not a pretty sight of a game.
He's been picked once, banned 3 times, and yeah, he lost. It was the Peace versus Home on Life, I think, or LNG.
Yeah, my boy, my poor boy.
Any of the weirder picks? I mean, there was Lilia top. We've seen that. I wasn't expecting a Lilia top because they was expecting Graves top. We've not seen a lane Graves yet.
Well, that's true. I mean,
so that could be pulled out somewhere.
I mean, the mid lane, from what I've seen, is mainly been Silas or LeBlanc. And Twisted Fate. I've seen Twisted Fate a couple. I've seen it at least once. I know that.
So mid lane, you've got Silas, 9 games. LeBlanc at 6. Aurelia's been played a handful of times. Oriana 4. Probably mid's probably one of the more versatile roles. There is so much that can play there. Like we had Gragas mid in game 1.
Oh yeah, because that's apparently a tradition. I can't remember the game it was, but apparently within the region, it's tradition to have Gragas mid. Apparently.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was game 1. Like, I literally saw game 1, and it was like the first 5 picks was Irelia, Jax, Sejuani, Kiana, and Tryndamere, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like, apart from Irelia, that saw a bit of presence in the regions, Sejuani has barely been touched. Tryndamere not been touched. Jax has been played in a couple of situations, and Kiana's only really coming into the meta now.
Yeah, because I've been seeing Perks play Tryndamere once. That was the
and Chovy.
Yeah, so
and
maybe that was going to be a pick we see more as well.
Yeah, you'll definitely see it on some of. I imagine Doyen B's probably going to pull it out, kind of.
Hooney's saying Graves mid incoming.
Yeah, Graves mid.
Maybe I should pull that out.
Perks Tryndamere forgetting to press R.
I mean, yeah.
There's only been what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's been 7 characters banned who've yet to be picked.
Okay.
Well.
Who are they?
So you've got Seraphine, Yesero, Yumi, Ziggs, Poppy, Nidalee, and Kassadin.
Okay. I think we're going to have a nice amount of variety, I think, going in to the, I would say, what was it, the formal group stages? Well, yeah, the actual group stages.
Yeah, I reckon there's some picks that we could see that we've not seen yet.
I will have faith that I will see an Ari, but I don't know if that will actually come to fruition.
Ari's got the possibility to be played, I reckon.
It's dependent if the game allows possibly.
It. Diana, maybe. Hecarim.
Oh yeah, Hecarim. Especially waiting for the tally support, says Haruni.
Yeah, always waiting for that. Riven.
Yeah,
you're also looking at possibly stuff like Volibear, Zac. Zac's quite strong at the moment. Echo. Also looking like we've not seen Samira, we've not seen Viego, we've not seen Action yet.
No,
Action, I'm not sure if Action.
He's not eligible because he wasn't available in all the regions before Worlds. So he's
I'm not sure though, because he's on the list of players.
Is he?
Yeah, the only person that's not on my list is Vex.
Akshan is disabled. Who
he is disabled.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's
no
fair.
action. But yeah, you're right. Viego is, I would say, surprised because I saw a lot of Viego.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brippo doesn't pull him out.
Ripple.
I would say that Brippo or Inspired will pull out the Viego.
Yeah, because I've seen one Trundle pick, which could happen. Again, I mean, I'm just excited to actually be able to. Divine Sundra nerf got Viego.
Yeah, true.
I don't pay attention to the patch notes enough, so I have.
Yeah.
So what was the nerf to Divine Sundra?
It was the percentage done, like percentage of max health done. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. You can check that.
But at the moment, we've not seen any more. Oh, the highest amount of kills by a single player, like not by a single player, but like multi-kill. There we go.
Yeah.
Is only a triple at the moment.
Wasn't who has that triple kill?
Oh, multiple people have triple kills, but Bagex of Infinity has 2, and he's the only person with 2 triple kills.
Interesting. Do you think we'll see a Penta?
Yeah, which affects yeah. So the max health damage done, which affects the amount of healing percentage on the character as well. So he's not getting a lot of healing.
Yeah, and that was
kind of Viego's.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like one of his biggest things.
I reckon we'll see at least 1 or 2 Pentas.
1 or 2 Pentas. I'm not gonna ask who you think is gonna get it, but what I will ask, because I think we have a link to a Pick'ems. I don't know whose is the right one, because we have your Sheldini, we have Benny's link as well.
We'll use Benny's, because I think me, Max, and Benny's in that one.
Okay. So, Benny, if you wouldn't mind putting that link in the chat, that would be fantastic. Because there's been crystal ball predictions. Yes. Sheldini, who did you put?
Down 1.
Down 1?
I'm going for down 1.
I didn't know who to go for, so I just went T1.
Oh, for fuck.
I was like, why not?
Okay. Well, given on how my predictions are going currently,
you are very accurate.
Yeah, like the only things that caught me out were obviously how well Galatasaray did day 1 and how badly Beyond has done. And C9.
Yeah, I mean C9. I think let's not talk about that too much.
It upsets me, all right.
But yeah, I mean, there's not much more we could really say about Worlds, because, I mean, it hasn't really started yet. We've still got play-ins to go. Still got the weekend games, and then on Monday, the 11th, all the games come back in, and we'll get to work out who's looking strong or not.
Oh, there we go. I finally found a number. 74 different champions have been picked.
Wow. How many champions are there in total?
156.
So nearly half of all possible champions have been picked. Imagine if that happened for Overwatch. We'd have great content. Anyway, wait. I saw 3 stars. Are you not allowed to post a link? I'm not sure. Oop, maybe. Sheldini, you're a mod. You can post a link. Unless the bot then attacks you. This will be interesting to find out who can post a link.
157.
Okay, so yeah, about half the characters have been picked.
That
And,
will probably border on the 100 mark, I reckon.
by the end. Am I a mod? Oh, yeah, you are. There we go. So if you want to join our pick'ems, click that link there. And, well, I don't think predictions are live yet, are they? No, because all the teams...
live after play-ins.
Yeah, so from Saturday evening, like later evening, we'll know who's in the group stages for Worlds. And yeah, there's not much more we can really say about Worlds. I can think. Sheldon, is there anything else you could think of about Worlds before we move on to the any other business bit? Attack on... what was it?
Attack on Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
Attack on Brighton. I can't think of any other bits we need to add to Worlds. Obviously, you can't really... Oh. Attack Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah. I don't think there's too much else I think we can add, because obviously I think next time we'll be partway through Worlds.
That is very true. But hang on, let me grab the picture and change it to any other business, because what did it come out today, like the pre-season footage?
The pre-season information did come out
today, and well, Sheldon, you were able to watch it. Let us know what we can expect going into 2022.
So, to add on to the random nature of the dragon system, which you kind of knew what was coming, we have been gifted 2 more dragons. We have now got the Hextech Drake, and we have got the Chemtech Drake.
Ooh.
So the Hextech Drake will, each one you kill will increase your ability, haste, and attack speed, or will give additional stats. And upon having Hextech Soul, will give kind of a slowing... I can't remember how they put it. It was kind of... It's kind of like a chain attack. It kind of like chains through people, and it kind of slows down a group.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Which was basically Static Shiv, which you won't know because it was before all the new items came out.
Before my time.
It was before your time. And then on the Hextech Rifts, when it changes up, it will have these Hextech portals which will teleport you to predetermined locations on the map.
I was about to say, there's got to be portals. It's like, oh, the map changes. I want portals. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, I obviously don't know how it's going to work. It should be coming on to PvE in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to probably try that out when it comes, because I'm curious to see how it works.
Do you know how Chemtech Drake works?
So Chemtech, each additional one gives you more damage the lower health you go.
Okay.
Which it's kind of to help give you an edge towards the end of the team fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Like Static Shiv and Storm Raver put together. Yeah, that's best way to put it, Benny. But yeah, so yeah, the lower health you are, the more damage you do. It's kind of like there's a rune for that. Cut down.
Okay.
Is it cut down? I want to say it's cut down. But yeah, you do more damage the lower health you are to a point. For Soul, obviously, again, don't know the timing of it and stuff. Basically, when you die, you don't 100% die. You have about 5 seconds of... you get revived for about 5 seconds, and you can deal damage still, and use abilities and like your ult and stuff.
So in that instance, you could really go for like a fight you're not supposed to win, chunk down everyone as much as you can, get that 5 second, and then kill them all.
I feel like
Sion never dies, and in that situation, Sion just never dies.
Well, I will go on the basis of how they did it with Ultimate Spellbook, and it's the fact that with Scion, he then goes into that passive for Chemtank Drake, and then he will go into his passive.
He'll never die.
Yeah, basically.
But that's a big RNG to hope you get that Chemtech.
But at that point, it seems like it's going to be... Because realistically, if you've got that on the side of your team, it's kind of a bit more snowballing. It kind of...
You can go for aggressive plays.
You can go for a really aggressive play that you have no right to go for. Or you can go for a really ambitious tower dive, and you say, like, your whole team dies, 2 of them are still low HP, but you're still able to kill them. And then it's still like, you still trade off evenly.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they've won the fight. It feels a bit more snowballing. But then, when it changes up the map, Hextech for ADCs is going to be really good. All set. So for Chemtank, it will create kind of like... best way to put it is, Viego, he can kind of disappear into the mist.
Yeah.
It's basically like that, but in parts of the area for the jungle, for whoever enters those parts of the jungle.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think if it hides, like, it can hide, like, red buff and stuff in it as well, so it doesn't fully show red buff.
Oh,
but
okay.
Again, it's interesting to see how it works.
Okay, that's interesting. And then, of course, we're going to get new items as well. Do we know anything about those items, or...?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of info about the items.
Ooh.
We have a new support mythic, which is going to be tailored towards the tankier support, so like the Yoda and Nautilus. There's going to be a new mythic for mages.
That's good for me.
Is going to enable
me
more healing. No, not more healing. More, not sustain. It will give you additional resistances upon taking damage.
Yep, I need that.
It's kind of like a shield thing. So when the shield is active, it will give additional ability haste as well.
That sounds like Immortal Shield Bow, but for mages.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have... That's it for mythics. Then you've got 3 new legendary items as well. So we will have a new mage item. I did write down what it did somewhere, but can't remember specifically what it did off the top of my head.
That's alright. I mean, you know a lot more. I mean, I've been busy at work, so I haven't been able to catch up with it. And I was late from work, which is why this podcast started a bit later. Sorry about that. Well,
yeah,
I
actually can't remember what the one for mages did. Not the slightest. Even my note doesn't help. There'll be a new legendary item for assassins, which will require for when you get takedowns, will give you will take a percentage of your ult cooldown off. So
wow,
that doesn't seem nice. Don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, that would be massive. But we got a bit of time to wait before that. We've got Worlds to get through. We've got Christmas as well. Like, we've got Halloween, Bonfire Night, Christmas, the New Year. Like, we've got plenty of time to...
And then we have a new take item that will give additional mana. So kind of like a Tear of the Goddess item for tanks. Which is good because I can see some tank supports building it, and I can see some top laners building it, because I can say whenever I've played Leona and stuff, mana is always a big issue.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially if you're going to up against someone who is manaless,
Yeah.
it is
It might be good
necessary.
on someone like Malphite as well, because Malphite is quite extensive on mana as well. That's it actually for item changes, and there's only one other notable change that they've also stated that's coming.
Ooh, go on.
And they're calling it like a bounty system, which I wouldn't say it is. It's more of a catch-up mechanic.
Yeah.
You know, like how if an enemy, say like Silas, is like far ahead, he has a bounty on him, like 400 gold. So when you kill him, you get 700 gold for killing him. For the 400 bounty and the 300 for... Basically, it's a catch-up mechanic. There will be bounties on objectives. So like towers and...
Oh, yeah.
Drakes and stuff like that. So we'll... depends on if your team's ahead or behind, but it will only rack up to a certain point of like how much gold you can and cannot get, or like get extra.
Yeah.
And these, like, especially for like the bigger objectives and stuff, or I think for all objectives, it's shared gold between everyone. It's not just on one person. So say like if the Misfortune gets the kill and blow on a Drake that has like 300 gold bounty, MF doesn't get the 300 gold for herself. It's like
split into
gold.
60. Yeah. I mean, that's still good. I think I remember you saying something about this, and I think that drives the team aspect of the game more. It's not. I don't think it'd be massively impactful, but
it depends. It depends on the situation of how far you are behind. If you're not too far behind,
it could be big.
It's going to be bigger for teams that are within a couple K gold behind, rather than teams that are like 9K gold behind.
Yeah, but
because when you're like 9K gold behind, it's not fun. You're kind of accepting you're not going to win at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still be saying we scale at that point. I'm just a fervent believer in the scaling potentials of other characters other than myself.
And then there's a couple of changes, like they're trying to revamp like the client a bit, and they're going to give more it's kind of like a challenge system. So you kind of get, you know how you load into the game and you're like, oh, you pick your roles and stuff.
Yeah.
Underneath you'll have like 3 challenges and stuff that you have picked or whatever, that you have like progressed or whatever. It's like, this is a diamond award for getting like most kills in the game. So like our diamond reward is when you get most kills in the game in 50 games or whatever.
Ooh.
So they'll kind of be adding like challenges like that and rewards relating to it.
That sounds interesting. That might get me to play a bit more than I currently do, because I'm too tired right now to actually play the games. But things like those challenges, that sounds really cool, especially for like, I would say, more of a casual player like me.
Yeah, no, obviously, like the casual players, it's kind of like something to work towards, and then like for people that play a lot, it's then kind of like, oh god, I'll play this game a lot. So like people for like me, it would be like, oh god, this is a lot of points.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I think that's about it for this first episode of the Riftmaker podcast. Thank you all very much for watching. And I completely forgot to mention this at the beginning. All our content is brought to you in partnership with Humble Bundle. If you want to support our channel and get some really good software, games, and books, I mean, Humble Bundle does it all. If you use the code, if you put !humble in the chat, you get a link. Use that link, purchase what you want, and a little bit goes to us as well, and it helps out charity. So you're also being a very good person, supporting some great causes. Anything else I need to say? Yes, next Thursday we'll be running a League of Legends Pugs. So if you've ever wanted to play League of Legends or are quite well versed in it, come and join. It's a good place to get better at the game. I mean, I feel I do get better just by watching much better players than me actually play and understand the game. But until next time, everyone. Oh, I was about to do the other podcast, my old one, sign off. It's stay chaotic for this one. See ya.